Commission meeting to order on Tuesday, January 19, 2016. It is now 4:30. If you could please stand for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence after. Mr. Myers, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call on the commissioners.
Silver Presley,
Here.
Casperkey,
Here.
Navejas,
Here.
Myrick,
Here.
Hopper.
Here. All five are present, none are absent. Okay, number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay, number 5, our minutes for January 5th, 2016.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for the Redevelopment Commission for January 5th, 2016. I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the January 5th, 2016 minutes. Any additions or corrections on these minutes? Or discussion? If there is none, roll call on the minutes, please.
Silver Presley,
Yes.
Casperkey,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopper.
Yes. Motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, we're gonna skip 6, waiting for 2 applicants, so we'll give them a little extra time. Number 7, approval of offer for 5800 5808 Holman Avenue for the police garage project.
Commissioners, in your packet, you have 2 appraisals. This building is in downtown Hammond. Obviously, you have the address. It's right across the street from Harrison Park. It's actually in the building right now is a sub-hub. However, the sub-hub is in the front, and in the back is a lot of unused space. We've been looking to find a new police garage for the Hammond Police Department for multiple reasons, and the chief of police is here, and I'll ask him to come up and he'll talk to you about that. We've actually looked at 7 different sites for the police garage, so this has been going on for years. For one reason or another, the sites didn't fit or didn't work or were too expensive. We finally came to a point where we found a building that we think works very well for multiple reasons, and so we're presenting this to you today to make an offer. But first, I'd like to have Chief Doty come up to the podium and kind of talk to you about some of the issues that they have with the current facility, which is just north of this building.
Thank you. We've been in this present location a very, very long time. When I came here 32 years ago, there was a functioning police garage. There's an elevator inside at that time that carried cars up to the roof for storage, and also to take large items up to another level of that garage that we currently use for evidence storage that is still there. However, the elevator is got to such an age it could not be repaired, no longer functions, so we have to use stairs to get up that evidence area, so no longer can we carry large areas up there. The building itself used to house EMA in addition to the garage up front. It became so dilapidated and was once struck by a vehicle, which took out one of the exterior walls, and that's why you see the blue siding outside of it now. So it was beyond reasonable to repair, so we removed EMA from that, and we now house them in the new Hammond Police Department. So that area is currently vacant and in disrepair. The roof itself, if you walk in, it's been said during a rainstorm you could take a shower just by hanging out in the back bay area. So, but it's very old, would take a lot of money to fix up, and we're confined on space up front. The officers are of no use to the garage guys. It wouldn't be convertible to an area to fix cars, for example, which is what we need. We need a newer building that's in better shape to start with, that we can put money into to be very, very modern. Unlike most police departments, we do 100% of all of our work in-house. We train our guys to do everything from the ground up. We rebuild transmissions, we replace tires, we rebuild motors there. We install all the lighting and our radio systems in every single vehicle we purchase there. Nobody does that. Everybody farms it out to other companies, and it costs a lot more money. So we train our guys, and we save the city of Hammond a lot of money by doing that, and it's very important to us. They have to have a more professional environment to work in, however. We need more bays so we can have more contacts, more cars come in off the street, like a Jiffy Lube. We literally call them in. We give them their oil changes. We rotate their tires while the officer stands by. 20 minutes, they're back out on the road. Then we also need bays to have cars held for long-term, the more involved repairs that are going on. So each mechanic, we have 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They each need 2 bays, one for a long-term project they can be working on, and one for the short-term so that officers aren't compromised on the street. We also will be needing an area, and the 5808 provides that. We need to build a caged vault inside, so we have room for the evidence that's stored here to currently go there. So we need a secondary evidence room. We do have one at the Hammond Police Department, but it can't hold some of the things, the long-term storage there. That's only short-term storage at the Hammond Police Department. This 5808, it will provide that. I believe it would be a service to the community also to move it to Holman Avenue. Harrison Park is a vital area. Recently, some tennis courts were put in there. We had a crime camera put up on the east side. If we acquire this property here, we're going to put a crime camera on the building. It'll be cameras 360 degrees outside. We're going to put up one for crime to actually monitor plates on vehicles as it goes by. So if there's a crime committed downtown, as in Hessville, we've done this already. So if people are entering and egressing from state line, committing crimes here and fleeing our city, that we can capture some of that data. Another advantage is there's active businesses on both sides of this location. We can help provide security as squad cars are coming and going all day from this location and park there overnight. Montessori School is there. Very viable business and important because there's a lot of children there. Be nice to have a presence down there as well. I feel there's a lot of homeless downtown. We've done a lot this year to curb that problem. I believe us having a further presence in the downtown area directly, a very visible presence, would allow us to help that and hopefully make those businesses feel more secure and be more secure, and hopefully maybe we can gather even more business downtown. So I hope that's a byproduct of this. Any questions?
Seem pretty positive in the search, whatever you said, 7 buildings. This is your favorite?
It is. I've been directly involved in all of them. We've been as far as Robertsdale, all the way down. We've looked all over the city. And barring new construction, which was really never an option for us, it was just a little too expensive. And you know, where you build is important, because where you build, as you know better than I, that's sometimes where the money comes from. Being in a TIF district, you know, we're looking for that from the beginning to help pay for it, because you know we don't want to ask the taxpayers for all that money. You know, this helps us down that road. But we're satisfied that this location will fulfill our needs.
It's a good fit. I just realized before the meeting that was the old PPL tire.
Yes.
It'll be,
It was a shop before, which helps us.
yeah.
So that gives us an advantage. It was
Room
actually,
inside, like you said, to do other things too, chief.
there's an office inside that we're going to rebuild. It was actually set up where the officers can come in, they can drop their car. It's made for in and out.
Yeah.
It was designed that way, so we get a head start on building.
Got the big overhead door too.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's a
there's
good fit.
a lot of modifications we won't have to make.
Commissioners, also just want to point out, so as Chief Doty pointed out, this is in the downtown redevelopment / allocation area, so that's how we'd be funding the potential purchase of the building. Also, The sub-hub is located in that building. The sub-hub will not go away. The sub-hub will then have a lease in place with the redevelopment commission in which we would be taking in the revenue from the lease of the front side of the building. At the same time, it will be secure in that the people that work in the sub-hub will not have access to the actual police garage itself. There will be security and obviously locked doors and to make sure that that can't happen. Lastly, the average, typically when we're buying property, well, I shouldn't say typically, always when we're buying property, we have to get the average of 2 appraisals, which you have in front of you. Both appraisals, the average of both is $302,500. Because we are going to put some, we're going to have to put some money into the building itself to prepare it, including new signage, new fencing. There's going to be definitely some office reconstruction inside. After having a verbal conversation with the owner, what we're looking for today is an offer of $285,000 for the property, which obviously is less than the average of the 2 appraisals.
Do you think the owner would accept the 285?
I believe he will. I don't believe he'll accept anything less than that at this time, but I believe he will accept 285. From conversations I have with him, however, I don't want to promise you that one thing's going to happen or not going to happen.
Okay.
So,
No, when we were discussing this before the meeting started, we were trying to figure out, we knew what was the sub-hub. We were trying to figure out what was there prior. And
Yeah, what was it prior? That's, I was just gonna say, just for visuals, anybody?
It was a PTL tire place,
Okay.
so it was a
Before that,
garage.
was it a transmission shop?
That's down the street.
That was, yeah, that was down the street.
Now, is it, okay, I'm
So
trying,
they had
I'm
days to
trying,
work on cars.
I'm trying to place the location. So
directly
it's
across
like
from Harrison
down the way from Williams, from the Board of Ed, 41 Williams
So
Street.
south of there.
South.
South of there. Webb Street
West Street.
comes out on the north end of Harrison Park,
Okay,
so it'd be south of there on the west side of the street.
With all the improvements, and it does
Okay.
seem like you're happy with it, because it's a deceiving building, there's enough room there for the growth that we wanna do.
That's a good
Yes,
thing.
yeah, we believe there is, and we would need fencing on the parking lot, and we've talked to the owner about that. We can fence the entire parking lot because we're gonna own it, but we could do it in such a manner that he's allowed to open a gate when he comes into business, or still be in business if we're not there. For example, on the weekend, on Saturdays and Sundays, and we can divide part of that, but we would like the whole thing to be secure. We've already talked to the VFW. They own a lot behind it. During the daytime, they never use it, and they will allow, if acquisition occurs, the Hammond Police Department to use that parking lot free of charge. So if we have an influx of vehicles during the day that won't be there overnight, we're allowed to use that area also. And that'll help us keep the parking lot clear during the daytime to help out the business owner.
Any plans for this old beauty?
I probably shouldn't speak of that, but I would have a recommendation.
yeah, it will be demoed.
Yes.
We've already had some cost estimates for the demolition. I don't have them in front of me, but eventually it will be demoed. However, it's not in the allocation area, so that the money will have to be identified from a different source. Lastly, if I could just say one last thing, we have storage. We've actually been, last year when Root Brothers bought the property that Planning and Development used to be located in, we had to move all of our stuff very quickly. So we did an average of 2 appraisals for a lease price, and we've been leasing space there, Planning and Development, and we have a lot of storage in there. So I've talked to the chief about potentially keeping the storage in there short term, obviously at no cost. We won't be paying the lease any longer. But at the same time, I'll start looking for either a different space or a different building, because we have other buildings in downtown Hammond that we could potentially move it to. I just want to be careful not to clog up another building that we may end up selling and using for a different purpose. So, but that's something we will be looking at.
It sounds like a win-win, and then the sub-hub, they should see an increase in business as well, so.
The Sub-Hub is very excited about this.
Really, yeah.
Part of the reason, they've had offers on the property. They've had an offer for the property for $320,000. The issue and reason they couldn't end up closing was it was either parking or zoning. Because although the building's set up specifically for like an auto mechanic of some type, it's actually not zoned properly for that type of business. So this actually is a win-win for a lot of different reasons.
Sounds like it.
Mr. President, I move to approve approval of the offer of 5800-5808 Holman Avenue for the police garage project.
Second that.
And
Thank you, Chief, by the way.
Can you, put the 200, the amount in there?
I don't think we're ready for the amount, are we?
yes, the amount would be $285,000 would be the offer.
The offer to be $285,000 for 5800-5808 Holman Avenue for the police garage project.
Thank you.
And I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval, offer of $285,000 for 5800-5808 Holman Avenue for the police garage project. If there's no more questions or discussion, roll call, please.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Esposito?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Poppers?
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Chief Joseph. Okay, we're gonna move back to, number 6, our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval. Like we might have 6 applicants, is that right?
Actually, we have 5. Brittany at 7340 Arkansas, she withdrew from the program this morning, but everybody else is here.
Could they all come forward, please? Welcome.
Let's see, who's gonna go? Serrano, is that how you pronounce your name? Serrano?
Ramon Serrano.
How did you hear about the program?
¿Cómo oyó usted del programa de nosotros?
O sobre the banco,
Oh, the bank,
PNC Bank.
PNC Bank,
PNC Bank?
Ricardo.
Okay. What about Miss Crystal? 1649 Brown. Is that Hammond or is that, that's Robertsdale, right? That's Robertsdale. How did you hear about the program? Your real estate? Your real estate broker or agent or? Oh, Albert, oh, okay, yeah, he owns that part of, okay. And let's see, let's try one more. Juan Menza, is that how you pronounce your name? How did you hear about, your lender? Who's your lender?
She's from that SME mortgage company, one you've been hearing about.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Anyone else?
Señor Serrano, ¿usted entiende las preguntas que le preguntó el Commissioner Merrick? Sí. Okay.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 5 applicants.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 5 applicants that are present tonight. We have a roll call on it.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Esposito?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Poppers?
Yes, motion passes.
Thank
5
you.
yes.
Congratulations. Welcome to Hammond.
And welcome.
Felicidades. Congratulations.
Okay, number 8, determination of compliance with the redevelopment plan for the Marina redevelopment area for the project at 11001 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Commissioners, this is Mr. Dan Tersman. He's been here several times. He is acting as representation of the Marina Development Group in Robertsdale. And this was actually something that was listed in the development agreement that we signed with Marina Development Group years ago. And so I'll let him talk to you about it.
Thank you. Good evening. As Phil indicated, this project that we've presented here is to essentially demolish and redevelop the existing business that's located at 11001 Indianapolis Boulevard. It's currently used as a liquor store, smoke shop and fireworks sales. With the redevelopment, we would be no longer doing fireworks sales there, and but we would be rebuilding a new facility for liquor sales and cigarette sales. The idea is to, again, in keeping with the idea, the concept of the area is to improve the architectural quality and characteristics of the building and redevelop the site to add some green space and just overall try to enhance the aesthetics of the property. So again, this was part of the arrangements made with the redevelopment agreement for the Marina District development. So.
Commissioners, we also have our city planner, Brian Poland. If I could ask him to come forward and speak, and then if you have any questions.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Brian.
In your packet, you should have an elevation of the building, or at least a proposed elevation. This is not the exact building. This particular picture is elevation of the building at 1423 Indianapolis Boulevard that they recently constructed. So the new building on this site, the 11,001 site, will be very similar in architecture, brick, design, etc. This project is located in the Marina redevelopment area. We recently had an amendment to that redevelopment area. The boundaries were actually expanded to include the 5 points intersection. This particular project is not in the expansion area, but that document also created a Roby allocation area that encompassed the Marina District development or the Fifth Avenue development. So this project is in the allocation area. And therefore, with that being a part of the 2013 amendment, the goals and objectives of that plan are able to be applied to this particular project. Excuse me. Those goals are very, broad and general, allowing for expansion and development and reconstruction of the area, speaking to having better architectural character. This particular building is maybe not exactly what is going to go across the street at the Fifth Avenue development, but it certainly would be in keeping with the whole revitalization and redevelopment of that area. That being said, the project will need to undergo a rezoning. Currently, the property is zoned I2. They have a petition before the Planning Commission to rezone the property to C4, which is more in keeping with the rezoning or with the use of the property. We've talked about a subdivision of the property just to get the legal description in shape and in compliant with the ordinance. We've also talked with them about adjusting the address system. For some particular reason or peculiar reason, there's this part of Indianapolis Boulevard has a 5-digit address system. That's where the 11,001 comes in. The rest of our city is in a 4-digit address system. So through the subdivision process, we're going to bring their addresses in compliance with the regular system, and hopefully everything will be coordinated with the 911 system, and so we all know where everything's at. One of the other important aspects of this development is in addition to all the landscaping and all the normal parking requirements that we're required to have, the reconfiguration of Fifth Avenue, as we've talked before, it now curves to the east and comes in right at this development. It actually intersects right in the gas station that is adjacent to this property. So we'll be getting this put together in the subdivision side of the project, that the liquor store will actually have an access easement to go onto the gas station property, and there would be a regular aligned signalized intersection there. So it's going to improve the traffic flow of the area. That being with all that, staff recommends that the Redevelopment Commission determine that this project is in compliance with the redevelopment plan for the Marina Redevelopment Area, in particular to the 2013 amendment.
Is there a traffic signal there now?
Is it completed yet? Yeah, there is one there now. It's a new signal.
Okay. And I guess not critical, I'm just curious why it has to be rezoned. Isn't ultimately going to be doing the same thing, just less fireworks?
The liquor store, cigarette store is a legal non-conforming use in the current industrial zoning. So once the building comes down, that would expire. So in order to allow it to be reconstructed, it has to be the C4.
Even though that's what it's doing now.
Right, but it's a legal, it's correcting that, like I said, that's getting rid of the legal non-conforming status and make it a compliant with the zoning.
Would that rezoning affect anything else in the development or the marina or the big picture, as you know?
No, it's not. I mean, technically, the rezone package also includes the gas station, and you know, you're eliminating the fact that everything on the northerly side of the boulevard there is industrial zoned, and even though that's where all the railroads are and all that kind of stuff, there's all that industrial zoning. These particular properties are commercial developments, and so it is intended to be more of a transition or a buffer from the new commercial development on the southerly side of the boulevard, transitioning to the north side, and then, like I said, buffering to the industrial railroad uses that are there.
That's all I had. Those are my questions. Mr. President, I move that we, move forward with the determination of compliance with the redevelopment plan for the marina redevelopment area for project at 11001 Indianapolis Boulevard.
I second that.
2013 amendment?
I don't think it has to be, that's fine, it's in the reports.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the redevelopment commission to determine that the project is in compliance with the redevelopment plan for the marina redevelopment area, and in particular to the 2013 amendment at 11,001 Indianapolis Boulevard. No further questions, comments for Mr. Paul? Can we have a roll call?
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Caspergy?
Yes.
Navejas?
Yes.
Myrick?
Yes.
Hopperidge?
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Okay, number 9, reports. Phil Talon, would you like to share anything tonight?
Sure, just a couple things. One, with the recent conversation I had with the owner of 18th Street Brewery, which is moving into downtown Hammond, the most recent potential opening date as of right now is January 29th. So I would keep your calendar open. Now, that's not to say that something couldn't come up and the date gets bumped back just a little bit, but that's what he's looking at right now. So when that happens, I'm sure we'll have some sort of ribbon cutting. It'll be exciting to get everybody out there. So if it changes, I'll let you know. Secondly, on the 28th of January at 11:30, the Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce has their monthly luncheon. This month's speaker is Mayor Thomas McDermott Jr. I think you know him. So if some of the redevelopment commissioners would like to attend on behalf of redevelopment, that'd be great. I will be there as well. Just wanted to get that on your calendar. Besides that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
What did you say that was? Thursday?
28th, the Thursday, yes.
At 11:30.
And it's at the Dynasty, if I didn't mention that. It starts at 11:30. They call it networking, and you could eat. No, 11:30.
I know, does it go on to about 1:30 or 2?
No, actually, they're pretty prompt. I would say that typically it's over around 1 o'clock, maybe 1:15 at the latest. Typically with the mayor, there's a lot of questions, so sometimes they'll go a little bit over, but they're very strict. welcome.
We will move to number 10 then, our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for January 4th, 2016 through January 19th, 2016 for Register of Claims number R52812 through R52890.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the register of claims for January 4th, 2016 through January 19th, 2016. Claims R52812 through R52890. Any questions on these claims? Okay, roll call, please.
Philip Presley,
Yes.
Esperity,
Yes.
Navejas,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Walbridge.
Yes, motion passes. 5 yes. Okay, number 11, new and unfinished business. Okay. Number 12, public comment. Anybody like to come forward? You have 3 minutes.
Commissioners, I should have mentioned this earlier, but for those of you that don't know, our new city engineer that's been named is Mr. Dean Button. He has graced us with his presence today. He's in the audience, so if you get a chance to say hello to him, if you have not met him in the past. We've worked with Dean, who used to work for SEH for many years, and it's exciting to have him as part of the City of Hammond team, because he's very knowledgeable, obviously lives in Hammond as well, and he's going to be a huge asset for the City of Hammond. It's hard to replace somebody like Stan Destani, but we're definitely getting as close as we possibly could with Mr. Dean Button, so.
I agree. I kind of introduced him last week, and this gentleman over here, I mixed him up with his last name, Mr. Bill Hutton, so I kind of pulled a Steve Harvey on you. Just making a joke out of it, but I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Dean Button. I did get to meet him twice already, and I think he'll be an asset to our city, so welcome. And I'd like to recognize Janet Benez, Councilwoman at Large. She's in attendance tonight. Thank you for coming. If nobody else would like to come forward and speak, public comment is now closed, and we have a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by saying aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.